Tell us a little more about the location of this visit. Versailles is highly symbolic in the Franco-Russian relationship, isn't it?
Well, when Peter the Great, the Russian Tsar, came to Paris exactly 300 years ago, he didn't actually stay here. He stayed in a hotel in Paris, but nonetheless, this castle is where the exhibition dedicated to that very important visit will be toured by Presidents Macron and Putin. And of course, it was that visit in 1717, in May of that year, that established permanent diplomatic relations between the two countries. Peter the Great, by the way, founded the city of St. Petersburg, which is the home city of Vladimir Putin. So there's symbolism on various layers here. And back then, 300 years ago, the Russian Tsar he took the French monarch in his arms to symbolize the warmth of this emerging relationship. We're not expecting any such bear hugs this time because, of course, these two men, Vladimir Putin and Macron, are far apart on many geopolitical issues, particularly Syria and Ukraine. We'll see also if any allusion is made to the hacking of Emmanuel Macron's campaign, which associates of Macron blamed on Russian hackers during that campaign.
Now, Armin, you just touched on these points. Emmanuel Macron has had tough things to say about Russia's annexation of Crimea, its involvement in the war in Syria. Is there any possibility these two leaders will see eye to eye on anything, really?
Well, Ukraine promises to be a very tough discussion. Emmanuel Macron saying that Russia invaded Ukraine. He said that he would have a demanding dialogue with Russia without concessions. Moscow, meanwhile, of course, says that is not even supporting rebels in eastern Ukraine. So that's a pretty huge gap to start trying to bridge. Macron also saying he wants to convene a meeting of the Normandy format as soon as possible. That's the group of four: Russia, Germany, France and Ukraine, to talk about the implementation of the Minsk agreement. I think the fact that Macron wants to push that as quickly as possible suggests again that he wants to show an assertive French role, and it sounds as though he's taking a tougher line on this issue than his predecessor, François Hollande. Macron also, of course, keen to mark out his independence from the United States. He wants to show that France is leading on Ukraine, if possible, as well as other issues. He doesn't necessarily want to wait for Donald Trump to take that leadership role. So all this is pointing to perhaps a more assertive French role on such issues.